Good morning and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast with Ronald Polius, where we talk about the principles and practices you need to help build a better future. I'm your host, and I want to talk about, on this last Monday of the year, SMART goals, a blueprint for success. So many people allow life to happen to them. They're like a ship tossed about in the seas. Each wave that comes changes their direction, brings about pain, hurts them in this way, hurts them in that way, and they never really make it to somewhere they planned. Or if they do, it's taken much time to get there. And that has to stop. Listen to me, if 2025 is going to be different, you got to change something. If 2025 is going to be different, you have to lay down different brick. Too many people are living the same year over and over again. They've not learned from past experiences. They've not learned and developed new habits. They have stayed in the sandpit, stayed in the rat race, stayed in the mud. And one of the ways I think that you and I need to see 2025 be a different year, one of the tools we need are SMART goals. If you felt like your goals are out of reach and you're not sure how to get started, this episode's for you. What are SMART goals? The concept of SMART, it's an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This helps you break down your goals and ideas and your dreams into actionable steps. Because so many people are making their large goals, making their big goals, and they don't know how to get there. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to an elderly person here in Oklahoma, and they're giving me directions to a place that I don't know how to get. In fact, they're not even giving me directions. They've just said several times, hey, go to Penn and 59th. Go to Western and 50th. Go here and there. They give me these two cross streets, and I'm from Florida. And even when I was in Florida, I used GPS all the time. There are places I knew how to get because of memory and having to have gone there several times. But I didn't really give direction in that way, and I never really received directions in that way. Somebody would say, hey, let's meet up at Chick-fil-A, and I would Google it and go there. And SMART goals are the directions. They're the thing that helps you see how you can get. They're the GPS. And so let's not just know where we're heading or where we want to head. Let's figure out how we can get there. And so the S stands for specific. What do you want to accomplish? What is the goal? You can't just say, I want to be successful. What does success mean to you? What does success look like? Does success look like lending on one deal this year? Awesome, I'm looking for lenders, private money lenders. Does success look like buying and acquiring one rental property? Does it look like acquiring 30? Does success look like losing a certain amount of pounds? 30? 10? 1? You got to be specific. You can't look at your dream goal and have this ambiguous, I want to be successful. Specific. And even then, you got to figure out who's involved. Why is the goal important? Specific. The M stands for measurable. If you can't track your progress, how do you know you're taking the steps to get to your goal? If you can't track your progress, how do you know you're making progress? If your goal is to save $12,000, you need to be able to say, okay, I need to save $1,000 at least each month. Once a month for a year. Is it measurable? Is it something you can look and say, okay, January 31st has passed, February 1st, I've saved $1,000. Okay, I've lost this amount of pounds in this amount of time. Okay, I've lended on one deal this year so far. I've got one property that's rented out. I have this. Is it measurable? Can you look and can you see? Or is it this ambiguous? I want to be successful, and you're looking at your life and you're saying to yourself, well, I have saved $1. I'm not eating that Twix that I got in my left pocket. I feel better on Tuesdays. Is it measurable? Is it something that has benchmarks? One of the brilliant things about schools are the different mile markers. I'm not going to remember all of them, but I think there's a mile marker after you graduate kindergarten. It's like, whoa, good job. You've passed the first, awesome. 5th grade, awesome, you're going off to middle school. Woo! 8th grade, woo, awesome, you're going off to high school. Congrats, you're almost there. High school, 12th grade. Woo, you're an adult, go and take over the world. And then it continues. Associate's degree. Woo, keep going. Bachelor's degree, awesome. Master's, awesome. And then doctorate. You got to have those benchmarks. And they have to be measurable, because you need to realize, oh, I'm coming up on that. I'm saving 12,000. I'm close to that 6,000 goal. I'm halfway there. Yes, I'm at the 9,000. 3/4. 12. I've made it. Gotta be measurable. The other thing is, it gotta be relevant. Is it something that matters to you? I mean, you can make the goal to collect Jordans and have 12 clean, never worn pairs of these amazing kicks. But is that something that matters to you? Is it relevant? And not just is it something you like and enjoy, but is it relevant to the holisticness of your life, the reason you live, your purpose? Because you can gather kicks but they'll never kick you into action if they don't matter. It's irrelevant. All right? Stay with me here. So, relevant. Okay? For instance, you want to lend on one of my real estate deals. How is that connected to any goals? Well, you may have a goal to increase your passive income in 2025. Ah. And so you can lend this much and get $500 a month mailbox money. I mean, what would $500 extra do for you? Cover a car payment? Cover groceries? Cover some date nights? Cover some Jordans? Whatever the goals are, they gotta be relevant to you. Not just to you, not just important, not just, oh, I like it, but something that connects to the bigger picture. The other thing is it has to be time bound. You can't have a goal that just says, I want to be successful. Do you want to be successful in 2058? I mean, that's 33 years. Do you want to be successful in 2030? That's in 6 years. It's still technically 2024. It has to be time bound. You have to say, I want to run a full marathon by the end of June. There we go. Now you can walk back. Now you can trace your steps. Now you can look at the steps that are needed, the bricks you have to lay to get there. So that means I need to train every single month for 5 months. That means I need to run this many miles every week. I need to do this. You start to be able to say, okay, these are the things I need to do to get there. I want to lose 100 pounds. You start to work backwards. Okay, I need to lose this amount. I want to lose 100 pounds by June. Okay, I need to lose what? Something, whatever that math is, you probably are doing it right now. You need to lose this much each week. It has to be something that's time bound because it forces you, it puts the pressure you need to stay on the road, the path to achieve the goal. Because if you say to yourself, I want to be successful, some ambiguous goal, or even if you do get specific, even if it is something that's measurable, even if it is something that's relevant to you, you then say, okay, yeah, but I want to do all of this in 2028, or I want to do all of this in 2058. What? It gotta be time bound. I just realized I missed the A, and so I'm not spelling smart at this point. So I'm gonna go back, not in the video, just in my thought process, and say, A, it has to be achievable. Has to be something realistic. Because you can make something that's specific, measurable, relevant, time bound, but is it achievable? The reason I want to run a full marathon in 2025 is because I have ran a half marathon before. When I was in college, there was a point where I ran a 5K every single morning. On my intense times. And then there were times I ran it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5K. I was there at Hope Sound Bible College, and there was a beach just a mile and a half away. So I would run there. It was actually a mile away. I would run there and run on Jupiter Island a little bit more, run back to the beach, rest, and then run back. 5K every morning. Then I ran a half marathon, trained even more intensely for that. And I want to get back. I've been in the gym. I've gone to a sauna, rebounded, been working out. And I want to up my goal and go up and do a full marathon. And it's totally achievable. I've done a half before. You want to save $1,000 each month. You want to have 12 by the end of the year. Is it achievable? Do you have $1,000 of play money? Can you cut some expenses? Or will it force you to bring in extra cash? And that's the other thing. These SMART goals, don't make them within your range of comfortability. Don't make them things that you can easily do tomorrow. I'm not going to make a SMART goal to do a 5K. I can do that right now. I have the stamina. I did it for months. Consistently. I know I can do that. When you make these SMART goals going into the new year, you want to make sure that they're just far enough where you gotta stretch to try to get them. You want to make them enough to where you kind of need to depend on other people for help. Whoa, what do you mean by that? You got to work with somebody else. You got to get a mentor. You got to get an accountability partner. You got to get someone that checks up on you and say, hey, were you up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym today? Yeah, I wasn't, man. Okay, well, we got to stop that. You can't sleep in. Make these SMART goals something that grows you, because the reality is you got to become the person to reach these goals. There are too many people who live on the dopamine and the endorphins that come from just stating their goals. Man, I'm running a full marathon this year. I'm saving $50,000 this year. I'm starting 2 businesses. I'm buying 5. I'm traveling to 7 countries. They get these endorphins sharing these goals because everyone's looking at them and listening to them. They're saying, dude, that's amazing. I don't even have my passport and you want to travel and go to 7 different countries? Man, I make $40,000 a year. You're trying to just save 50? And they're like, yeah, I got these lofty goals. They never achieve them. They're the same people who go into 2025 making these goals, living off the high of the accolades of words. Oh, those are amazing goals. Then they get to 2025, and by the end of the year, their friends are looking at them and saying, man, you've not even left this country. You've not even left the state. You tried to visit 7 countries. Dude, you're actually in debt $50,000. What do you mean you were trying to save 50? And then they enter into 2026 playing catch up. If they even want to try to get ahead. The SMART goals you're wanting to make are the ones that you can actually do. And they're the ones that can stretch you just a little bit. Just a little bit. Well, what happens when that happens? You start to realize that you are a person that can keep their word. The other thing that happens is you start to realize, wait, I'm a person that can lay down new bricks towards a better future. I'm a person that is not stuck in the situation that I find myself in. And so I'm asking you this question. The new year is right there. It's on the horizon. I see her glow. What SMART goals are you making that will allow you to ride into that blazing glory, ready to conquer 2025?